Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Fantastic. It's a Thursday, which means we have a Dear John letter coming up. I'm always excited for those, and the one today I think is going to be a fun one, so I'm excited. And also, anybody out there who would like to chime in with their advice, you're certainly welcome to do that either on our Facebook page or at johnandheidishow.com in the show notes. Either way. But we'd love to have it if you chime in and give advice as well. And I've got a quote for today as well from Marie Curie. It says, "Life is not easy for any of us, but what of that? We must have perseverance and, above all, confidence in ourselves. We must believe we are gifted for something and that this thing must be attained." I agree.
It's kind of a jumbled up mess, really.
Well, I think I might have done that.
I think I agree, but I'm not completely sure.
Blame that on me, not Marie Curie. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday, the 17th day of May. It's National Graduation Tassel Day. I wonder if this is the day those were invented or something. Do you think?
I don't know.
It's also National Idaho Day. You know why?
Why?
It's the day that Idaho was founded.
When was it lasted?
She's stealing my best material over here. It's also National Cherry Cobbler Day, National Pack Rat Day. I used to be a pack rat. What do you mean? I'm a recovering pack rat.
You are definitely not a recovering pack rat.
I got some stuff packed way over here, but not as bad as I used to be.
Have you seen our garage?
Well, that's a whole different story.
Look, this is the only room and the garage are the only two areas that you have access to, and look at those two areas compared to the rest of the house.
I'm a pack rat. I'll celebrate today. It's also National Walnut Day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs. But first, Monica Lewinsky was in the news. She was uninvited. There was a Town and Country magazine event that she had been invited to, and then they reached out and said, "Hey, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to have you at the event." Guess why?
Why?
Because Bill Clinton decided that he was going to the event. So then they said, that would be awkward, so we're not going to have you. Thanks anyway. Can you imagine how bizarre that would be?
That would suck.
That would... No, Heidi. You are pretty proud of yourself right now, aren't you? That would just be terrible, to be uninvited from an event because of something like that. But, you know...
I'm sure she just blew it off.
Okay. We're done here. Thanks for listening. We've got your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. 25-year-old Stephen Elmore pled guilty to felony arson last week after he started a fire in retaliation to a prank. The incident took place in Colorado. It involved him getting drunk and passing out, and then having some phallic symbols drawn on his face. One of his roommates admitted that when he passed out, she took a felt tip pen and drew, the stuff on his face. He discovered the drawings, initially confronted one of the men present, although Elmore's female roommate eventually told him, "Hey, it was me, I'm the one that did it." Then he went downstairs to the room next to the garage and started a fire in the garage. The roommates managed to put out the fire. He is now undergoing substance abuse and mental health evaluations. He has to remain alcohol-free and drug-free for 2 years probation sentence. So
that escalated quickly.
Well, he was under the influence when he did it, so he wasn't thinking clearly, period. So I'm glad that he's getting the treatment. And every day when we talk about the people during this segment, there are people that do dumb things under the influence. And if you're one of those people, get the help you need. I'm serious. You're going to be so happy you did. And we have people who have done that, and they've let us know that because of the silly stories we talk about, that they've decided to get treatment, and it has made a difference in their life. So, again, that's one of the reasons that we continue to do this segment, because, hey, we're changing lives, Heidi.
There you go.
We're making the world a better place, one person at a time. This has been Your Brain on Drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. The LAPD is trying to determine who stole the Iron Man suit that was worn by Robert Downey Jr. in the Marvel Studios films. So somebody stole that. What would you do with that? It's not like you could wear it around or anything.
I don't know. You would put it on display in your house or something, I suppose.
Yeah, well, when people come over like, is that the suit that was in the news that's being stolen? Yes, it is. Don't tell nobody, okay? It's a bad idea.
You just say, no, it's a replica. I bought it online.
It looks just like it. Especially this thing here where it says authentic suit as worn by Robert Downey Jr. In other news, Jada Pinkett Smith last week sat down with her husband's ex-wife for an episode of her new Facebook talk show series called Red Table Talk. Facebook talk show series? That's a thing?
I don't know.
I'm still confused about... We watched Cobra Kai, which is a YouTube thing.
Which is brilliant.
It was amazing. Absolutely
amazing. By the way, if you haven't seen it, you need to see it.
I'm still so confused. I'm like, so it wasn't even Netflix. I know Netflix has been doing stuff. Now it's YouTube Red is doing stuff?
I guess.
So now apparently Facebook
brilliant.
is doing stuff? I just don't understand. So this has been another episode of Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. Rolls-Royce unveiled a new SUV in Germany last Thursday, so 1 week ago today. The new Rolls-Royce SUV has a price tag of $325,000. So, I just don't think I'll get one, you know.
Maybe not this season.
Because it's $325,000. Although it does look pretty sharp, I gotta say.
I love Rolls-Royce.
Yeah, we've never had one. We've never even seen one up close.
I've seen one up close.
Have you really?
Yes.
Where'd you see
when
one
we
up
were
close?
in St. Louis. Remember, there was one right outside of our hotel,
right.
and I was like drooling all over it.
But I mean, we've never ridden in one. We don't know people that have
licking
one.
it.
Would you stop? A Massachusetts state trooper rescued a dog that was running loose on the interstate. Guess how the trooper got the dog to get in the vehicle?
Just open the door.
Opened the door and offered the dog some homemade jerky. It
well,
works.
Of course, that's going to work.
That's how I got kidnapped 18 times. Hey, fat guy, want some jerky? Huh? Yeah, I'll take some jerky. Wait a minute, where are we going? Hopefully to get some more of this jerky. A 32-year-old employee in the Covington Independent School District in Kentucky passed away a few years ago. This week he was honored for donating his estate to the district. Alvin Randlett donated more than $175,000 to the Office of the Attorney General's Children's Victims Trust Fund. The donation helped to protect children from abuse, a cause that he embraced while serving as a janitor at the elementary school for 32 years. So he was a janitor for 32 years. When he passed away, his estate, $175,000 went to
awesome.
that. I think that's really cool. We had a story yesterday for our good news where it was a secretary that donated like $6 million.
Yeah.
She worked until she was in her 90s. And this guy here was a janitor who worked for 32 years as a janitor, donated $175,000 when he died. I think that's just really neat. And while people do die from drowning and falling and animal attacks at national parks, you know what the top death is at a national park?
No.
Heart attack.
I could see that.
So people who sit at a desk all day and they go, I'm going to go hiking. and then they go,
I could see that.
overexert themselves in a national park, and then they have a heart attack. So if you're going to go,
always take a
hiking,
buddy.
or just drive through the park. Don't do that. Enjoy the park, but don't overexert yourself. Just make sure you take baby steps. A new study finds that tourism is worse for the environment than anyone thought before. So they're saying, as people are traveling, it's really bad for the environment. All the gas to get where you're going.
Yeah, I suppose.
And then, once you get there, if you're camping, all the garbage that you have from camping. And so they're just saying that if you want to really take care of your planet, do it from home. I mean, don't go nowhere.
I'll be traveling.
A 15-year-old girl in England was left with horrific burns after, listen to this, deodorant was sprayed on her in a latest school craze. It is like a school hazing thing. The game involves spraying deodorant into a person's bare skin for as long as possible.
Oh, my gosh.
This left a 15-year-old girl with a nasty wound where doctors had to perform a skin graft.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so don't do this. It's a bad idea. This one happened in England, but it could happen anywhere if you think it's a good idea to spray
Just
deodorant.
quit doing these challenges and these.
I think it's
don't haze
it's a
people.
bad
It's
idea.
just so
Bad idea.
stupid.
Malaysia just elected a 92-year-old leader last week. I got this story a week ago. It's been one of the things. I'm getting to the bottom of my list
92?
finally. 92-year-old leader in Malaysia. So they said we need someone who doesn't know how to use Twitter. I don't know. Maybe that's not quite what they said. And finally, a man in China was detained after he inserted feces and motor oil into several ATMs. He actually thought doing this would somehow make money come out. So, not sure what the plan was. And I have to tell you, in the story it says ATM machines, but that's redundant. That would be automatic teller machines.
I know.
So
That bothers you.
Don't say that. That just doesn't make you sound smart. Thanks for listening to your Scoop of the Day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
And it's time right now for
Dear John Letters.
Dear John. Dear John.
And we've got a Dear John letter for today. I'm also going to tell you how to get your Dear John letter submitted for next week. You can do that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, or you can do it right through our website, johnandheidishow.com. You ready for a Dear John letter?
I'm ready.
All right. Dear John, my son is 25 years old. He still lives at home with us. We told him we would be okay with him coming home for a while to get caught up on his debt. He has a job and he's been getting things caught up, but last week he showed up with a new car. It's not brand new, but it's way more than he really needs at this point in his life. I'm upset that he didn't talk to us before making this purchase since he lives in our home for free. If he can afford the new car, he could have afforded an apartment. His other car was working fine. He was not in an accident or anything. He just wanted a new car. My husband and I have talked this over, and we both think it's time for us to put a deadline on his stay here. He has older siblings and younger siblings that are all on their own. I know we're getting heat from at least one of them for letting him stay here for free. Should we initiate a rent payment for him to stay? Should we give him like a 60-day notice? We don't want to be heartless, but we feel like he's taking advantage of us at this point. Any advice would be appreciated. Signed, Mom and Dad. This can be a sticky situation because it's your child. You love your child. You want to take care of them. But that's also one of these things where if you let them stay too long, then you're actually probably hurting them more than you're helping them because they kind of got to get ready for the real world too. So, and I can understand where you've got others, he has other siblings that are probably getting upset saying, hey, you didn't do this for me.
Right.
So I think this is going to be a sticky situation, but I think the first thing I would do is sit down with your son and have this conversation with him. There could be a lot of stuff you don't know. Maybe he's been looking for an apartment. Who knows? He may have all of that stuff taken care of, but I would certainly just say, hey, if you can afford the car, maybe you're in a position where, but now that he just bought this car, if he's got a payment, maybe he's not going to be able to afford to move out.
Right.
What are your
It's
thoughts?
a sticky situation.
Yeah. You have any thoughts on this, or what should they? Because she was saying, should we initiate a rent payment? Should we give them a 60-day notice? We don't want to be heartless. I don't think you want to just boot them out because that would probably be bad.
No, absolutely not. But yeah, you need to have the conversation.
Ask one of those siblings, hey, you got a spare couch?
Got spare room?
Grandma and Grandpa, maybe?
Yeah. No, you do need to have the conversation because it's time to grow up, and you do. You have to have the conversation and make sure they're ready to take care of themselves. But you also don't want to put them in a bad position where they can't afford where they're staying anyway. So because then that's worse.
At this point, at age 25, they should be in a position. And it doesn't say how long he's been staying there. So if it's 2 weeks or if it's been 2 years, I have no idea. It doesn't say. But however long it is, if they're saying maybe we need to put a deadline on this, then it's probably been a while. Mm-hmm. What you don't want to do is you don't want to just boot them out. Now, our son has a friend who literally got booted out. They gave the young lady like 2 days to pack up and leave. Yeah,
that's not. I don't think that's okay.
I think that's tough. You don't want to do that because now,
where do they go?
Here's the thing: whether we ever hear their side of the story or not, she painted them out to be bad people. We don't know. They could have had conversations with her for 2 years about this. Who knows? You just don't want to. I don't think you want to give your son the ammunition to make you look like the bad people when, however long he stayed there, he stayed there. Just make sure that you don't put yourself in a situation where you look like the bad guy.
I don't think that's even the case. I wouldn't care if I looked like a bad guy if I was doing the right thing for my family. Yeah. But I don't feel like just kicking your child out on the street without any place to go, with nothing planned. I don't think that's the right way to do it.
Again, I think the answer is have the conversation. Sit down with him and say, hey, we need to talk about this.
That's tough, and it's happening more and more now.
It is. And we just read a statistic not too long ago about this generation. There's more kids living home with mom and dad than there have been in a long time. I think in 60 years maybe is what that study said. So you're not alone, but make sure that you do the right thing. And I think step one is have that conversation, because this may be something he's already working on. But if you don't talk to him, you'll never know. If you have a Dear John letter you would like to submit for next week, you can do that through our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show, or you can do it right through our website, and that is johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
I've got just one fun fact because we're going to break this down. It says, as of January 1st, 2004, the population of the United States increases by one person every 12 seconds.
Whoa.
There's a birth every 8 seconds, and an immigrant is added every 25 seconds, and a death happens every 13 seconds. So during the time that we spend, if we do this for 1 minute, our population goes up every 12 seconds, so that would be like what? 4
Don't
additional?
Like it's like 50 cents a minute.
5 additional. There's some more people that were born and came here as of January 2004. I think that's just amazing. I've got a link to this fun fact, and it's on our show notes blog at johnandheidishow.com.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day. Quaff-tide or quaff-tide. What do you think quaff-tide or quaff-tide means?
I have no idea.
It means, it's a noun, the time or season for drinking. Quaff-tide.
Ah.
How do you want to say it? Quaff-tide or quaff-tide?
Is there a season, really?
Yes,
I mean, isn't
apparently.
it like...
It says here, use in place of beer 30 or Miller time, or happy hour, or tipple time. Have you ever heard of tipple time?
I have not heard of tipple time.
It's tipple time.
That sounds British to me.
Could be. It's quaff-tide. Quaff-tide means time for a drink.
All right.
Used in a sentence. Quaff time comes but once a year, so let's all be
Once
filled
a
with
year?
pleasant cheer. Hie we all to Rathskule now, before the white Serge takes her bow. The knocker up comes at 5, the back to work we all must strive.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I don't think I'm going to do that. So that's quite the saying. Quaff-tide is your grandiloquent word for today.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now, some weird news on a Thursday. You ready for some really weird news?
Sure.
Kangaroos. They may look sweet and cuddly, but they come with a warning. Greg Piper, a lawmaker in Australia, wants tourists and travelers to his country to know, stay away from the kangaroos. Many foreigners have been beaten up by kangaroos. They go thinking, oh, hey, let's get a photo with this thing, and it'll grab a hold of you with his hands and then use his tail to pick his feet up and then beat the snot out of you with his back feet. There's seriously a man that required 17 stitches to his face.
Holy cow.
He says, I do not want to stop people from seeing kangaroos, but the situation has to be better managed. The kangaroos have become so desensitized to human contact, they will freely approach human visitors to obtain food, which leads many of the kangaroos to become aggressive when you won't give them food. So he's trying to keep people safe. He's saying, hey, leave the kangaroos alone. And I guess he works at a place where there's a bunch of kangaroos on the grounds. It's like a hospital area. They have a bunch of kangaroos right out there, and that's where they're saying they've
That's probably a good
signs.
place for them to be.
Yeah, to beat the snot out of people.
Gets hurt, they're right there in the hospital.
Need a stretcher for another one.
Let's get more kangaroos. It's good for business.
Yeah. Things are slow. Let's bring in 8 more kangaroos. This has been your Weird News, brought to you by 49bydesign.com. Now your moment of duh, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com. We head to Wisconsin, where a thief was caught on surveillance video yawning and struggling to stay awake while he was stealing a shopping cart full of Red Bull.
Sounds like he needed it.
$250 worth of Red Bull. The unidentified man was captured on surveillance video rolling boxes of the energy drink out of a store. Police department quipped, stealing can be exhausting, which is probably why this guy can't stop yawning, has nearly $250 worth of stolen Red Bull in his cart. Details about where the crime happened and which direction the suspect fled were not released. Police urge anyone who recognizes the person in the video to call immediately and let them know. I've got a link to the video and all of the details in our show notes, and that's on our website, johnandheidishow.com.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
it's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough, available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Time now for fake news or Florida. That always makes Heidi smile, by the way.
It does.
You just like the way I say that, or you like this whole thing?
I really like this segment. This is my favorite segment.
Is it really? It's not
It
my
is.
favorite. I like it. And a big thank you to everybody that sends these in, by the way. Fake news or Florida? A Florida man known in his trailer park as Santa Claus has been convicted of breaking into a neighbor's home to leave her notes and panties he wants to see her wear. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Absolutely right. A 59-year-old Panama City, Florida man known as Santa Claus around the trailer park has been in a little bit of trouble for breaking into his neighbor's trailer and leaving her notes and panties that he wants her to wear. I don't understand why. They arrested His Aistro Lee Sanchez, in April of 2017, after serving a search warrant on his trailer, they found about 90 pounds of women's underwear in there. What in the world? 90 pounds?
Jeepers creepers.
After a one-day trial, jurors was it last Friday? It was May 4th, so this was sent to me a little while back. May 4th, found him guilty as charged on 3 counts of burglary and a count of aggravated stalking. Sanchez faces 40 years in prison on combined charges. So there you go. This has been a true story that really happened in Florida. If you see a story that you'd like to submit, or if you want to submit fake news, I love it when you submit fake news. Your fake news is way better than my fake news. You can do all of that at johnandheidishow.com. This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is pretty darn good news. It's courtesy of Odiva, the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details at radiosavings.com. And I think this is a pretty cool story right here. The headline says, 90-year-old credits Words with Friends for saving her life. You ever heard of the game Words with Friends?
No. Oh, yes, you know what? I have heard of it. I've never played it.
So some people may scoff over social media and internet games, but a 90-year-old woman is crediting Words with Friends for saving her life. Every morning without fail, Miyoko Saiki uses her tablet to play Words with Friends with her son, who lives in another city, before he has to leave for work. In addition to it being a fun family activity, it keeps her mind sharp. However, her son logged into the game's app only to find that she was not online. He was unable to get a hold of her, so the anxious family went to her house, and they found her unconscious on the floor.
Wow.
She was taken to the hospital and treated for pneumonia and dehydration. Thankfully, she's in ship shape now, ready to celebrate her birthday next week, and she says that's all thanks to her devotion to Words with Friends.
Wow.
And her son, who was on the ball. There's a video on the page here that has all the details as well. I think that's a really neat story.
Yeah, that's great.
She's 90, and she plays this game every morning with her son, and I think that's really a neat story in itself.
That's fantastic.
So I've got a link to that story and other good news and other fun stuff in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Time now for a bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Today is a special day. Actually, the whole month is kind of a special month. It is National Pet Month, and today's a special day because we're visiting with Kim Gabelin, and she is with BilJac Foods. Kim, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
Super good and excited because National Pet Month, this is kind of a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think, so there's another kind of day to celebrate our pets, right? Isn't that great?
Absolutely.
I love it because we love our dogs, we love our cats, and so we want to be able to celebrate National Pet Month and celebrate them. And National Pet Month is really an interesting month because it's really about not just celebrating your dog or cat, but it's also to let people know and kind of promote the benefits of pet ownership and support pet adoption, especially because there's so much that pets do for us that we don't always think about every day.
Absolutely. And this would be a good time for people who maybe if they haven't had a pet for a while, if they're saying, maybe it's time to get a pet, what better time to do it than National Pet Month?
Yes, absolutely. And so, it's kind of interesting. Some of the studies that I love to read about are the studies that show how pets help keep us healthy, right? So we love the love that they give us. We love the companionship that they give us, the smile that they bring to our faces when they do something silly or when they're cuddling with us. But, they also, there's also been a lot of studies done that show that pets can help decrease your blood pressure. They can help lower your cholesterol levels and your triglyceride levels, and they also help us feel less lonely. So, and they get us out and about usually, right? If you have a dog, then you have a lot of opportunities to get out and about. So if you don't have a dog right now, for example, now is a great time to be thinking about adding one to your family.
I agree completely. And this is a good time of year to have pets because now it's finally getting nice and people are heading outside and doing things. It's a good time to, take a leash and go for a walk with your pet. And now you're getting exercise too.
Yes, absolutely. And that's part of, that's the whole part of like being healthy because they make you get up and about, right? And they also help you meet people when you're up and about. So, things to think about if you're thinking about getting a pet, the one thing to think about is, what kind of pet are you looking for? So are you looking for a pet that might be indoors? Are you looking for a pet that, for example, if you're looking for a dog, it's really important for you to know a little bit about the breed mix that dog might be. So a lot of times when you go to a shelter or if you go to a rescue group or if you go to a breeder, all of those people are going to know about that kind of breed, right, and what kind of temperament that dog tends to have. They might have been in a foster home, before you adopt them, so they might have some idea if they're good with children or if they're good with another dog or cat in the household. So those are all really important things to know because, if you get a really active dog and you're not a really active person, that can really make it tough, right? That may lead to some behavior problems in the house, or, just some frustration level with they want to go, and you're not really interested in doing that. So it's really great to get a little educated, and so many times shelters and rescues are really great at being able to talk with you through your lifestyle, what you're looking for, and then being able to help you match with a dog that will match your lifestyle.
And it's just like if you're finding a human companion. If you maybe enjoy watching movies, but you start dating somebody that wants to go on hikes, that might not work out unless, of course, you're trying to get somebody to get you off the sofa. So when you're looking for a pet, kind of the same thing. Find a pet that's going to fit within your lifestyle.
Yes, absolutely. And then, and that's when it's the best, right? So, if you have an active lifestyle and you like to run, for example, maybe a lab, so a larger dog might be good for you. A dog that likes to run like a lab could be good for you. Or, if you're more of a couch potato, it could be that maybe a Yorkie is good for you, or maybe a Basset Hound, if you like a bigger dog. So, again, it is really important to kind of get to know them. And, of course, every dog's personality is different. And so spending some time with them, having the whole family, come to meet the dog is really important too, just to make sure that everybody's feeling comfortable and is really on board with the decision, because it's really, it takes a village to raise that dog, right? It's going to take the whole family. So it's important for everybody to feel excited about having that dog in the house so that they find a forever home.
Absolutely. Again, visiting right now with Kim Gabelin. She is with BilJac Foods. We're talking about National Pet Month. That's the whole month of May. Now let's talk a little bit about BilJac Foods, because when you get a pet, you want to make sure you're feeding them the right kind of food as well, and that's what you guys do at BilJac.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been in business now for 71 years this year, and so we've been around for a long time. Had a lot of dogs, and obviously food is the foundation for your dog, right? It's really the foundation of their health, and it's really critical to be able to feed them a really, a high-quality, healthy dog food for them. And so we really believe that using great ingredients, high-quality ingredients, for example, we use 25 pounds of fresh chicken to make a 30-pound bag of our adult select dog food. So it's really important to have those high-quality ingredients. Dogs love chicken and the taste of chicken, so that's why we use that. And we also slow cook it. So between slow cooking it to help protect those nutrients and having all those great ingredients, we also believe that great nutrition should also taste great. And so we get both of those things because of the special way that we make BilJac.
Awesome. Now, where can folks find BilJac Foods?
I always suggest to come out to our website. We actually have a store locator out there, and you can actually just type in your address or your zip code or where you shop most often, and you can find out where we are. We're certainly out in PetSmart nationally, and we're also on Chewy.com and PetSmart.com. So those are a couple of places you can get us nationally.
Nice.
We're in a lot of local places, too.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Kim. I appreciate taking the time.
Thank you so much, John. And everybody get out there and celebrate National Pet Day, and thank your pet for all the wonderful things that they do to help keep you healthy, too.
They change our lives in a positive way, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Again, Kim Gabelin is with BilJac Foods, and it is National Pet Month, the whole month of May. Get out there and celebrate. We're going to throw a link to their website so you can find that store locator, and we'll do that in our show notes at johnandheidishow.com.